we're living in the best possible time where everything is on YouTube. You can self-teach yourself any skills. Believe in yourself, but start. Pick up this little mobile device. Everybody has access to smartphones these days.
Yeah.
Record yourself, see what you see, what you look like. If it's acting that you want to go into, if it's directing, shoot different angles, play around with lighting. And the key is just to start.
I love that. So with the 48-hour film project helping hundreds of filmmakers create films in just a weekend, guys, just one weekend, what key skills do you think young creatives should focus on developing?
Besides their talent, I would say it's self-belief.
Okay.
I really do think that, with the 48-hour film project, it teaches you to go out and ask, whether it's A-listers in the industry, come on and act with me, I'm doing a passion project. It's to believe in what it is that you're doing and go out there and ask for the help, because people do want to help. So, even if it's mentoring or guidance or whatever it is that you're working on, it may not be a skill, but something that definitely would be taking the youth to the next level or helping them achieve the goals that they want to.
And I think a question that everyone wants an answer to, because I think this is what people want to hear, the secrets, right? So from an industry perspective, what do producers and directors look for in young talent that helps them stand out? What do they have to have that sets them apart?
I would say, truly, it's your character, your personality, the way you treat somebody on set. Trust me, that doesn't go unnoticed. That is something that we often look at. And your social media. When scouting for talent, we look at their socials, the way they interact, the way they present themselves. So their image is really important, and it's something that we do look at.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. So I'm going to go across to Zain Cahoon, who is a director and visual storyteller with over 20 years of experience bringing narrative, commercial, and branded films to life. Known for a collaborative approach, they guide projects from concept to final delivery using strong visuals to create emotional resonance and purposeful storytelling. Currently working with Revolver Films in South Africa and collaborating internationally, Zain is drawn to character-driven stories and productions that value craft, intention, and authenticity. Zain, welcome to The Drive By.
Thanks for having me.
Such a pleasure. So, what advice would you give to young creators who want to break into the directing and storytelling?
I think work on your unique voice in an age where everything is very quick and we're all looking at short form content. I think it's important to get back to looking at what's going to influence you and telling stories that have impact. If you're looking at short form content, some of it is very effective, but I feel that there is a need for time for a story to be portrayed, and it's a good idea to look at films that have won awards, that are have done well, and kind of stand the test of time, to find your unique voice and draw that inspiration.
Now, of course, we're talking to people that are starting out, or rather wanting to start out. So for them, what are the key skills or experiences that will go, okay, you're going to stand out as a director?
I think to be on set and to have a willingness to get involved in whatever capacity it might be, I think it really it helps you when you get to a point of being a director to know what's involved with lighting, how long it would take to set a scene, what's involved with even having makeup done.
Yeah.
If you've worked in all those different divisions, it helps you be a better director to understand the timing that's involved. A good example is just arriving on set of our 48-hour that we did recently. I was working with Mtoa Zulu, and he brought my crew on board. I didn't know what I was facing, and when I arrived on the Friday night, I was faced with girls that had just matriculated from Kwadabeka Township, and I had to teach them how to facilitate all the different divisions on set, and the willingness is what counted. It is definitely about bringing character to set, like Narisha mentioned. But the willingness to be involved, I had asked industry professionals to help on the 48-hour on the weekend, quite honestly.
Yeah.
And everyone's busy and everyone's got paid gigs. But it's the willingness to be involved and to go for humble projects that suddenly have an A-lister flying in from Joburg the next morning, 2 A-listers flying in from Joburg to be involved in the film. It's a massive opportunity, and I'm very honored and grateful to have been involved in this and to have worked with Mtoa. And the results speak for themselves. I think we've made a very impactful film within a 48-hour span.
I love that. I love that you speak about people just wanting to do it out of passion, right? So how important is collaboration in filmmaking, and how can young creators build strong working relationships on the set?
Collaboration is everything. This film wouldn't have been possible that we've created, and now we're representing South Africa in Lisbon. We couldn't have done this without people, as you say, being willing to be on set. And there's no, if you're getting into filmmaking, you need to realize that it's a team effort. I've done the one-man show for a long time and just running business. And when you start to move into a crew where you can delegate works to people that have a better skill set in different divisions to you, it just creates a better product. So be humble enough to always be learning, and just the willingness to be involved and be present.
I think this is such an important conversation that needs a lot of time, and I want to continue this conversation with Zain and, of course, Nerusha and Rashid. But we are clocking time. It is almost news time, 5 o'clock here on Lotus FM's Drive By. So we're going to log over to news, and then it's going to be our traffic and sport, and then weekday expo. So, guys, we've been chatting all day to industry experts. We have been talking to matriculants. We've been hearing what it takes to be and break into this industry. And now we're very excited before the break, we have our panel on stage, which is Nerusha Miraj Sajapo. We've got Zain, who is a director and visual storyteller. We were in the middle of a conversation with him. And of course, we have Rashid, who I'm going to talk to in just a bit. So Zain, to continue our conversation, thank you for being with us.
And your pleasure.
All right, so we were hearing from you from a director's perspective. And you were talking to us kind of just off mic, if I can say that, instead of off camera. And you were talking about, and I think it was a very important discussion that we thought needs to actually be aired, about the two big names that you said came through to your film. And remember that this, and Nerusha, we're going to speak a little bit later about what the 48-hour film actually is. But you said they came through, and they don't get paid, right? But they came through on a volunteer basis, which puts their reputation, their career, everything at stake, all for passion.
Yeah, it was a lot of trust put in us as what would be considered mostly an amateur crew to tell quite an impactful story.
Because you were saying matriculants came through, and they were also on the stage. I mean, they were also behind the scenes to be able to run this film. So the other thing that I know that you were nervous to speak about and say is that, yes, she's looking at me, to say that the semi-successful celebrities are not the ones that come through to help a hand or give their hand and say, listen, I want to help, I want to do the passion projects. It's the really successful people, right? Why is that so?
Beats me. I was very surprised to have them on our set. It was an absolute honor, because I think if the context had been different, where we were working with actresses that were maybe not as experienced or professional, we might not have delivered the same message. So to work with Minnie Lamini and Zazi Kunene, they just brought this different energy to set that was infectious. Even while they were having their makeup done, they were practicing their lines.
Wow.
Because within context of the 48-hour challenge, you only get your brief on the Friday night. Mtor had written our script throughout the night, and while he was writing the script, I was teaching the crew. And then Mtor called Minnie and Zazi basically at midnight on the Friday and said, please come through, fly down from Joburg, and we're at this location filming. And so Mtor's dad drove them from the airport as a proper family production to come to our set, and they arrived and they were excited, and they just brought that passion.
Zest and energy, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, to get a massive film, it takes months of planning, schedules, flights, people's schedules to align, getting them through, getting them together. For you to get two huge A-listers coming from out of town to come through for a 48-hour film challenge, not being paid, there was some voodoo involved, right? Because that was amazing.
It was definitely, I felt like it was a God thing. It was like a godly production, because we prayed on the Friday night that it would go well, and it was just it was just a matter of kind of it's an important message that we tell through the film. It's kind of ultimate messages about human trafficking and what the problems with that, and how people can be coached into these predicaments that they don't really understand they're getting into. And yeah, it was just an incredible experience to kind of dedicate it to God and believe that it's going to do well. And I believe it's going to do well even further beyond what it's achieved here locally. We are submitting to international film festivals, and obviously we'll be representing the film in Lisbon. So
that's amazing. We'll be holding fingers and toes for you, so we
Thank
can't
you
wait
so
for
much.
that. So what tips do you have for turning a simple idea into a fully realized, impactful story on screen?
Unfortunately, it's just a lot of hard work. and
we thought you could give us some magical recipe here.
Yeah. As your guest mentioned earlier as well, it's about bringing that unique perspective, and to have it be about personal stories. The world is very interested in local and personal stories, and I've heard that local networks are desperate for local production. And we have all the skill set, we have the crew, we have the very talented actresses and actors in South Africa to make these amazing productions. And I came back from living in the UK for 11 years, and I'm given this opportunity, having worked on sets internationally, and coming back to South Africa is where I've realized that there's loads of opportunity. There's more opportunity for people here in South Africa. And my hope as a director is to show those positive stories and show that there are very skilled people here that can create beautiful products.
Like yourself, which you've done amazingly. So
Thank
you for that.
So the 48 Hour Film Project, it's an international short film competition whereby you make a short film in 1 weekend, 48 hours.
Wow.
You're given a brief, which is you get three elements, a character, a line of dialogue, and a prop. You only receive that on Friday. And then you also receive 2 genres. Each team receives 2 separate genres, and then your time starts.
That's
You're
amazing.
to write, shoot, edit, upload in 48 hours, and you're done.
I'm not even in that challenge, and I can feel the pressure. Wow. Okay, so Rashida Mlongo is a dynamic South African actor from Ballito, KwaZulu-Natal, whose talent has already made waves across film, television, and theatre. He recently starred in the feature film By My Cousin's Big Fat Durban Wedding, which enjoyed a nationwide theatrical release. Audiences also know him from the hit series Blood Legacy Season 1, where he delivered a compelling performance as a journalist. On stage, Rashid made his theatre debut in sold-out productions, earning praise for his commanding presence. His versatility extends to numerous television commercials and is an avid supporter for the 48-hour film project. I'm talking about you, right? Wow.
I think so.
Yeah. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I feel so privileged to be here today. Thank you.
That's amazing. So how did you decide a career in acting was the best option for you, Rashid?
For me, it's something that has just always been within me, I believe. Ever since I was a kid, it's just something about visual stories that just resonated with me, and connecting with characters on TV and films and stuff like that. And it was just something that I've always felt drawn to. And even as a kid, my brothers would be playing cricket outside, and I'd be in my room playing with soldier toys, creating worlds and stories. And I think that's where it started for me, my journey to storytelling. And the thing is also, I think we've discussed this a bit tonight. It's about just do it, because I'm 40 years old now, and I've only started seriously doing it like maybe 5 years ago, because I was always like too scared to do it. I was like, I mean, what are the chances that me of all people would succeed in this career? But it's something that's always been with me, and I just had to take it on.
I couldn't think of a better way to start your career with Blood Legacy than it's literally in your blood, right? So how do movies and series differ then?
Movies and series, well, They used to differ quite a lot back in the day, like in the 80s and 90s. There were certain things that you were not allowed to do in TV series and say and show. I think now it's become more of like a coexisting medium. And I would say the only difference between series and movies today is that you get to spend more time in the world in a series. You get to spend more time getting to know characters, and you get more time to flesh out the stories. So it's a little bit more intimate, I would say, a series. And a movie is, it's the similar format that it used to be. It's just a little more, 1, 2, 3 to the point.
Which one do you prefer, movies or series?
I prefer series, actually.
Yeah?
I do, yeah.
You stay longer in the character.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we've got people that are listening who are going, okay, you've made it. It's something that you enjoy doing. You love doing it from a kid, but obviously broke into this industry and are successful. What advice would you give to those wanting to break now into this media field?
I would say know exactly that this is what you want to do. And once you've decided that, then don't let anything hold you back. Don't let anyone say anything to you that is going to discourage you. Just go for it. And that's all I can say is just go for it. Give it your best shot. Be prepared to work hard and do your best, and leave the rest to God.
I think listening to everyone speak today, especially being on the stage with the three of you, just listening, I've observed that you don't need to listen to what anyone else is saying, because your voice is your biggest nemesis. Because if you're telling yourself you can't do it, then you're not going to. So you, like Nerusha said, you have to start. You have to tell yourself to start. Zain is saying, tell authentic stories. You've got to push yourself. You've got to dig deep, and you have to have that spine of steel to go, I can do this and no one can stop me, right? Is that what you're seeing among the new and upcoming fresh talent? Do they have this kind of confidence and commitment to succeed? Yeah?
I think those are the ones that do succeed.
Okay.
The ones that have the self-belief, the drive, and they know it. It's out there. They've claimed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really important.
So we were speaking just when we finished the little kind of, I don't know what it was, interview with our chicken, and then you kind of just said to me, Nerusha, instantly, that's natural. How did you know that?
She was so confident. She was just so comfortable. She knew what to say. She was composed. Clarity. She communicated so well. It's obviously in her core. She knows what she wants.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she's going for it, just like what Rashid said.
Yeah, exactly.
She's
Which is why she came here today.
Correct. All
All
dressed
dressed
up.
up, beautiful, exactly, knowing what she wants. Zain, is that what you look for, hopefully in actors, that you go, listen, this person knows what they want. They've already dressed for the part. This is someone easy to work with.
That was there were lots of interesting experiences about being on set with Minnie and Zazie. But I remember one point where I was getting things ready for the next scene, and Zazie dressed into this costume where she was going to have quite an intense interaction with Minnie. The characters were going to have an intense interaction. And she just dressed so beautifully. I actually got quite tearful because, and she said, "Are you crying?"
Were you crying, Zain?
I was genuinely crying,
So
because
to confirm,
it's because she was bringing this passion, and she was bringing everything she could to our production. And she wasn't getting paid to do that. She believed in it as much as we did. And that's why I think I got so emotional about it, because I just thought I've done everything I can in my capacity to bring all I can to set.
Yeah.
And then seeing someone else bring that same energy, that's why anyone would get emotional if you're passionate about it.
I can see it right now. I think your eyes are speaking, Nerusha. I think you can see the same thing. You're emotional as you're speaking about it, because you're recollecting that moment of the effort that was put into something that you believed in.
Exactly.
So that's amazing. Rashid, anything that you'd like to add before we have to go?
I'd just like to add that before Blood Legacy, I also started on 48 Hour Film Festival. That was one of the things that actually helps to hone the craft. You get to see other aspects and get to be involved in those other aspects, and it's such a holistic experience of learning the film industry. So the 48-hour film festival is
This is the place
incredible.
to start.
Yeah.
Zain, Narusha, Rashid, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an amazing full panel, such great insight, such amazing talent on stage, and thank you for lending your craft to us today. All right, it's now 5:30 here on Lotus FM. It's now time for headlines on the hour, half hour rather, with Tracy. It's going to be, South Africa is going to be put on the map. You're going to be representing us, but I don't know the name of this film. The director needs to tell us.
You can tell I don't do this very often. Our film is called Sired, S-I-R-E-D, and there is a website online where you can look at pictures from behind the scenes. I'll describe in more detail as to how we put this production together. And I'll be updating the website as well as we go. I'm sure if you just type it into Google, it'll come up. But yeah, we look forward to kind of continuing the journey, and I'll update as much as I can. And Tor's really good at social media. I'm not so great, but yeah, we'll definitely update everyone back home on the journey. And
yeah, please.
That's what counts for us. It's the support that we have from
your
our
home
families
team
and our home team.
Yeah.
And it's the reason I came home. You know, we have a limited time to tell very precious and valuable stories.
Without giving away too much, could you give us a little, what is Sired about?
Sired is showing the journey of young girls kind of getting into situations which they're being coached to be basically human trafficking. It kind of gives away the plot, but it is a short film. It's 7 minutes as to the rules of 48-hour. But it's the delivery and how the story is told that counts. And it is a big problem. The human rights, the social justice of it. It's something that needs to be addressed, and it's happening under our noses. You know, there's statistics that have been spoken about in Durban Port, and unfortunately, it's something we need to address, and it's something that needs to be spoken loudly about. And as much as I want to tell stories of hope, there are things that we need to look into and highlight to the rest of the world to say, please, this needs to change. We need to incite change here. And we can do that through filmmaking.
Well, thank you for coming through to explain to us what the 48-hour film is. We wish you all the very best
Thank
for
you
you.
so
We'll
much.
be rooting for you. And also for using the 48-hour film festival to tell such important stories. I think it's a reminder, because so often we get downtrodden as South Africa's like this, South Africa's like that. But you've said that you've lived 11 years abroad. You've come back, and South Africa has so much talent. We have so much to offer. We have so much to give. So it really does provide people who want to break into this industry with so much power. It allows us to know that we have an entire playground to play with and give to the world. So thank you for that. We wish you all the very best. And yeah, thank you for coming through the drive-by and expounding all of this important information. Thank you for providing, Narusha, the 48-hour film festival. You were saying something really quickly, because we're going to go across to a really cool music mix in just a bit, about you wish you had this platform when you were at school.
Absolutely. So when I matriculated, there was no such thing, or talks of media, of film, television. And so I went on and studied law. And this is something that I wish I had, just to be exposed into the industry. I mean, in one weekend, to be, writing a script, shooting, editing, it being screened in cinema.
Yeah.
In cinema, it's a full turnkey project. And that is why I push the project so much. It's because I think I'm doing it for my
Your inner child?
Yeah, my inner child, my
Yeah.
18-year-old,
Yeah.
who wished that I had that opportunity. And I mean, a lot of public schools these days still don't have drama
Yeah.
and performance or whatever it is. And so we're really trying to work hard to push it into schools and, to get it out there to the youth. And I mean, it is, not everybody is meant to be, a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever it is. So it's to provide the opportunity for those.
Well, we were talking as the Drive team that we're so grateful to have done this as a team, because we wish we had this opportunity when we were in matric and we were at school, to go listen, someone to tell us and pull us by the ears and say, hey, go in this direction. 87.7, 106.8, this is where you want to be, this is where you want to sit, you want to have this discussion with these three people here. But it took us to almost be 40. You know what I mean? So that we have to sit here and go, all of us? Are you knocking 40 too? He's waving on that. Guys,
Senior.
okay, that is where we need to end this discussion. That would be the single right about now. So coming up on your Friday mix with DJ Loti, recently featured on the next episode with Trevor Williams, some really awesome music here on The Drive-By.